Hey my gorgeous friends, it's your friend Kevin here with today's Divine Daily Guide, or Blast I should say, and I got a bit of housekeeping to do before we get to that. You know, you might have noticed the last couple of days these videos have gone up later than usual. Well, that's because I do them as I usually do them, and I go to upload them and something happens where it seems to take hours to upload. Now, there's nothing I can do about the technical issues of uploading it from my computer through the airwaves into the YouTube servers. So forgive me, I'm making this long explanation about, if you're wondering how come it's later today than normal. I think it's sorted out. I ended up having to download the latest operating system from Apple, which is always confusing because now there's more components to add to it and more learning to do, but that's okay. My motto is evolve and grow, just go with it. And with that said, let's get on with today's Divine Daily Blast. This is a bit, whoops, here we go, see, technical difficulties. This is a doozy of a day in a way, and it's always in a good way. I don't like how this does this, there we go. Because we have an angel numerology 11. So that's a spiritual number, as most of us know. But what's also interesting, that while it is October the 10th, while I'm looking at the sign of Gemini, if you look at the astrological symbol for Gemini, it makes an 11 with these two little serifs on the top and the bottom, which caught my eye. Like, ooh, when something catches my eye like that and it goes in, I need to pay attention to what it is. So the number 11, let's start there, then we'll get into where the moon is. The number 11 reduces down to a 2, which is all about angels, the angel blessings. However, the energy of a number 2 is being amplified with exclamation points at the end. Big, bold, capital letters, divine intervention is at play. A day to be completely and utterly present to the power of the Creator, the divine, the universe, whatever that is, and allow big time faith to be both your ally and your teacher. This is a day that you can open the doors to forward movement and keep going, because the High Priestess energy is very much part of this 11-11. We've known for a long time that 11-11 is a doorway, an opening, destiny, spiritual power. So this would be school is in session and all the professors in the heavens are here to bring you what you need. Now, in addition to that, the moon has made its move into Gemini, and we're being given the opportunity to make the most of this positive energy. Chat up a storm with someone, anyone, or not just one person but many people who entertain you. Seek out those who stimulate your mind, stimulate your possibilities, stimulate your opportunities, stimulate big time your creativity. Allow that juicy part of you that is in awe of everything to come into play. Now, no accident again. As I've shared with you many times, I've got this pile of isms like this. There's about 100 and 200 of them. And I literally pick the deck up like a deck of cards and pull from the top. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily fit, and I get the message, change that one out, because it just really is an offshoot. But today they did fit. I'm on the right path of the very best divine benevolent outcome in all areas of my life. So it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am always with my inner being, and everything is wonderful. When you get into the heart space, really truly dig in to being present to your heart space, your passions, what you love, what you absolutely adore about yourself, your home, your house, your surroundings, the people in your life, the friends you've got, then that blooms and blossoms out. And then when we come in contact with the contrasting energies, the energies that send us not in a very good, joyful, happy place, like I went to on Wednesday, then we realize nothing's more important than my feeling of joy and happiness. And I have to make a decision. And I'm the one that controls I'm the one that have the hands on the controls of this plane of my life, this aircraft, this life craft, this adventure. I get to control it. Make decisions based on what you want, not big, huge capital letters to the detriment of other people, but to the benefit of you. I'm aligned with my missions and anchored in my purpose. I'm aligned with my missions and anchored in my purpose. Part of your mission and part of your purpose may be to study, learn, and grow from the lessons that are being presented. I'm as stubborn as the next person. When I come against those days, those days that please, again, really, what in the world? Then it's time to regroup. Sit back. If you need to take a break, that's what your system's telling you. It's not laziness. It's saying you're going too far, you're going too fast, you're trying to do too much. We've got to put the brakes on. So we're going to give you this little mini thing of frustration for you to have your mini emotional tantrum to calm you down, to turn you to the trees, the birds, the sky, all of those things. You know, yesterday it's interesting, where I live on the east coast of the United States, there is, you know, the sun kind of sort of, well, it doesn't come up or go down, I should say. The earth starts to face the sun, and as the earth rotates towards the sun, we end up with these glorious shapes, like just the glorious shapes that the clouds and the sun and the air make across the sky. Sometimes it's very streaky, but yesterday I noticed that it was like small mottled pillows of cotton that somebody had carefully sort of opened up, almost as if it was cotton lace, where you could sort of see through it. The sun was kind of gleaming through it, and then these little pillows, and I'm in awe of how I'm able to see this while everybody else is fighting in traffic, trying to get in front of the next person, trying to cut off that person, trying to be rude and obnoxious as they are. I'm just letting it all in, doing my thing. Can't be worried about somebody who's in a hurry because they decided to put the snooze button on the alarm. That's not my problem. I just have, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour and a half, 2 hours in my space of creativity before the first person comes in. Done. Moving on. Metatron and Sandalphon. They are our masters of the week. And they're basically encouraging us that if we feel stuck or unsure where things are going, which, let's face it, people, we're really not sure. Every day is a different day, and we'll get a different news cycle if you pay attention to national or international news. So these two are being encouraged to see your situation from a higher perspective, which is, you know, in a way, how things are going. And if things aren't going according to your plan, it doesn't mean that things aren't going according to the divine plan. A power that is greater than any of us is within all of us, working to get us on the right plan, get us on the right life experiences, and understand that we are interconnected. Interconnected with source, interconnected with the power of destiny, all of those things. Now, we got a message from Sandalphon personally, like a love note. This comes from the angel affirmation cards. Again, no accident. With my feet on the earth and my head in the heavens, I deliver your prayers directly to the divine and return the answers back to you. My prayers are always heard and always answered. I receive angelic guidance with perfect clarity. here's what I'll say about that for me personally. I like to land it in something that I know for sure. Because at first, when I began to study this deeper and deeper and deeper, I really wasn't sure. In fact, there were times when I said, am I really believing this, or is this a bunch of poppycock? And then I would get the evidence that, no, it's not poppycock, you believe it, here's the receipts for it. And, you know, you almost feel like your spirit guides and your angels and your guardian angels are giggling because they really get it. They get it that, oh, he's just landed on another aha moment. It's not necessarily well, there are some new aha moments for me, but mostly it is remembering. It is the connection that I remember having when I was no longer in spirit, when I was not in a physical form. When I go to those places and do what I'm doing here, I'm not worried or thinking about what I got to do at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'm really in the mode of delivering you the message. And I listen right now and they say, move along, enough. Okay. So we have our principalities here. They are our angelic activators for the week. Principal studies. The rulers of the angelic protectors of spirituality and spiritual texts is what the principalities are. I want to say it's like the board of governors, if you will. So they encourage our inner leader, that's us, to support our inner strength and inspire each one of us to find that peace within. This group of principal angels are an incredible support for those who want to enter a spiritual study if they don't really know which way to go. And they'll guide us to the sacred halls of learning. So carve out time each day and ask for your gateway of study, the doorways to your spiritual learning, great halls of learning to be opened for you. And it's different for everybody. Some people call it the Akashic Records. Some people call it the spiritual library. It really doesn't matter. It's the hall of learning, the great hall of learning. You can think of it in any way you want to, and that is your personal hall of learning because you see it. No one else sees what you see. No one else sees what I see. They don't hear what we hear. This is why we have these special groups of angelic guidance. And if it's always for the highest good of ourselves, then it is for the highest good of others. If it's not for the highest good of us, then it won't be for the highest good of others, and the inner being, the inner soul, will point us in a direction that is. Which is why we get frustrated, because we thought it was supposed to go this way and it didn't. It quickly say, okay, I know I'm on a different path, let's go into this direction. And some people might call that being a bit of a flippity-gibbet. Well, so be it. If I get on the right path, I'm not worried about being called a flippity-gibbet. That's somebody else's term for me, not mine. Here we go. I'm not even going to apologize for sounding a little bit, what would you call it, over the top. I can be that way, but then I'm like, well, how else would I be? I can say some pretty harsh things sometimes, not necessarily. I can speak the truth with kindness. There you go, done. And I can also change my mind. Like that might have been my truth a month ago, but I'm learning something new. Okay, Beatrice. Oh, Gertrude is giggling, laughing. She's lying on her back. Oh, girl, put your dress down. She's just laughing. She's just laughing out loud. She's, where's the fun? There should be fun in learning. Oop, there you go. Again. I love this. Here she goes. I don't know if that's why Gertrude was giggling, laughing on her back, saying hope. I really am today. I'm going to pull up the guidebook because I'm not really sure why hope popped up again. I'm thinking, have I missed something? Is it just, here's the guidebook from Karen Kay. And I like using my intuition, but somehow or another, Okay, so hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. The Fairy of Hope flies in to remind you to believe in hope, for it's the key to the door that can lead you away from the current predicament. No matter how hopeless things may seem, this is why this has come up 3 times this week. If you look deep inside your heart, your spiritual heart wisdom will reveal a glimmer of hope. And this can lead you to a bright future. The fairy tells us always to stay full of hope, because positive thoughts and beliefs can literally change your future. So on this card, we can see a rainbow, a symbol of hope, and the dove of peace flying towards the fairy shows us that hope and peace often come together. Everything and anything is possible. Sometimes we need to just give ourselves an extra boost. So the fairies fly in on the wing of the dove to let us know that they're with you, they're with me, they're with us. While you're experiencing these difficulties, remain hopeful. While those around you are full of doubt and negativity, that can be extra challenging. But remember that hope comes from deep within our hearts. And if an excellent habit, it is an excellent habit to cultivate. Heart wisdom and hope will see you through whatever is going on. Those around you right now. So have the courage to trust. The Fairy of Hope walks hand in hand with peace and miracles. The Fairy of Hope walks hand in hand with peace and miracles. So, you, me, us together, we have fairies of hopes. Whether you want to call it Gertrude, Beatrice, what have you, who are gathering, making a circle. And can you I got goosebumps. Here we go. Here's the message. Can you imagine sitting in a circle of hope, of love, of peace, of clarity? And imagine yourself that you have this wonderful pool of peace, love, and all the doves have come and they've settled themselves around this pool, and you're there with them, watching them, listening to them coo. And I don't know if they coo, but I realize that they are part of the pigeon family. But they're just all full of peace, all full of love. And then you've got nothing but rainbow energy. I like to think, when I think of rainbows, I like to think of it being almost like an umbrella, that it's just like a big cocoon. Sometimes it goes in a circle, so I get to see different colors without moving my head. Just things like that. These are the things that I feel like lift me up out of those feelings of being stuck or bothered or upset or whatever it is. And I realized quickly that when I'm sitting in the soup of silliness, which is not joy, not happy, not what am I listening to, then I know I got to make a decision, because this is not where I want to be. And most of my life, my elders, my parents, my guardians, those around me said, don't be so silly. That's like being out with the fairies. So I believed that to speak this, to walk this walk, to talk this talk, to be this out there crazy cuckoo was wrong. I sort of started getting programmed that way, right? And that's when judgment comes in. I feel this way, she feels this way, are we all wrong? Then you get to gather your people. So your people right now, us, all of us on this channel, we're moving forward slowly but surely, not wanting to be seen, but certainly wanting to be felt. With that said, I'm going to let you go. Bye for now, my darlings.